Let us begin with jams. Marshall.
Odie.
So, you just recently got a message on your phone. Not too long after the other person comes in. This message is a group chat. Unfortunately, it has no message. It is just a single video. The number you do recognize. It comes from Adam White. He is a member of the cult. Do you play the video?
Yes.
Not to rehash old things as we go back through this. You watch a very clearly Egyptian woman straight up murder Adam. Beheading him, if I'm not mistaken. Camera lingers on her face for a little bit before she stops the video. I do need to make a quick question here to the group. Did you guys respond anything in that group chat, or did you just leave it empty?
Realistically, I think we would have made a new one.
Okay.
Because, well, what we had replied, we were talking about meeting up to discuss this, to deal with it, right? And we probably wouldn't want to put our plans in the video, in the chat, where the other person that killed our friend might still have the phone, so...
You are...
Jams would have, what's his name? Sorry. Marshall would be in that chat too. Probably would have tagged him in.
With that, a new group chat opens up with the others, stating that they wanted to meet there. Unfortunately, the destination is a little bit far out. So you're not going to make it in time if you are to head there. So I'm going to leave it up to you at this moment. There are still things that you need that obviously could be done here at your clinic. But there's also plenty of... If you want to head there, you might be able to... You won't be able to catch them, but you might be able to at least see where he's buried.
I see. Well. So when we left off, right? When I was last here, there was a dead body, right? Did everyone visit there when...
They were interrupted by the text message that I am describing to you now. So they never ended up heading to the clinic.
We were on our way.
And then things got changed.
Then I'll try to maybe investigate on my own to see if I can, see if I can find any clues regarding what exactly happened to the hunter or who did it to him.
All right. Well, he was screaming and the like, and he was taken into surgery. So if you want to participate in the surgery, that is perfectly fine. Go ahead and give me an intelligence plus medicine roll, and this will be part of an extended action. I have the target number of successes ready. what is your combined attribute and skill total for intelligence plus medicine?
Oh, okay, it is 8.
8. So you have 8 turns, okay? Or 8 rolls, I should say. Go ahead and give me the first 2. Okay. So you have a total of 3 successes. And you're down to 6 turns. This surgery is turning out to be far more complicated than it first seemed. Guy is not responding well to anesthetics. You're having to put far more into him than you would like. As such, his blood is slowly starting to thin out, which is obviously making blood loss an even bigger issue. Go ahead. Each one of these rolls is going to be classified as 1 hour of surgery. Go ahead and give me your next roll.
What are the rules for willpower and extended actions again?
You can burn willpower and it increases 1 roll of the extended action.
I see. But it's just like the same plus 3 dice, right?
Yeah, it's still the +3.
Okay, thank you.
Burning willpower,
Yep, I'll burn 1.
4 successes.
Hey, this is nice.
You're able to get the blood situation under control. He's finally starting to respond to the anesthetics, which is making your job quite a bit easier. The cuts are exceedingly deep as you begin to look into it. Looks like they are relatively fresh, which means that there's a good chance that your intervention here is going to prevent any sort of infection. Since we are at the 3-hour mark for this surgery, we'll go ahead and leave you for a moment, as this is the perfect time to revisit Seth, who is currently been shot in the leg a couple of different times, frisked, and had his hook taken from him.
What? So immediately now, what's the situation?
She is currently taking a couple of steps back from you, waving the book in her hands. You can tell by the look on her face, she at least has some idea what this is.
I am going to. I'm going to attempt to grab it.
All right, that is going to be dexterity plus athletics here.
Oh, that's willpower. Yeah. Nothing.
If it wasn't for the wound in your leg, you might have been able to get it from her. But she pulls it out of your hands just at the last second before you're actually able to get a grip on it. She goes, "You might want to run along to your friends, as stated. I'll be in contact with you shortly." And at this point, she does turn on her heels and makes her way back towards the head of the warehouse.
Yeah, I'm going to use the wall for support and make my way back down to the waterfront where I think it was
Edmond.
Edmond was sort of careening up and down.
Edmond, where is the essentially tugboat that you have currently?
Well, it's in the river. But no, it is going the opposite direction from where I would have told, a lot
A what?
to run
enough.
basically the opposite direction from the side that Seth was probably on.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if they're dispersing, I guess I'll slow it down here and sort of come to a stop in the middle of the river and readjust the situation. Seth is making his way towards the water.
Yes.
Is he being followed?
No. The only person that was anywhere near him is actively walking in the opposite direction. So it seems like, for whatever reason, they've decided to let him go.
Well, yeah. I guess we're pulling over to the riverbank.
As you get closer, you can see that Seth is pretty much using anything and everything he can to lean on. You can't see the severity of it, but you can definitely see that unfortunately, his pants are, wet with some sort of liquid. I'm not quite sure of the color of Seth's pants, so I'm not sure if he would be able to tell if it's blood.
Oh, he's a professor. It's inevitably a tan.
If it's tan, then you could probably at least assume that it's not like water or some clear liquid.
Well, as soon as we get it to the edge, I'll put it in park essentially here and see if I can't help him out. I don't know how much, the cripple's gonna go help the other cripple walk. This is great.
As you make your way up, you can definitely, at this point, now that you're much closer, see the bullet holes in the fabric, and you know 100% he's been shot.
Well, right. Has to happen in every man's life once or twice. No time to stay here, though.
I will make a voluntary.
Voluntary what roll?
Dexterity athletics to keep my footing. Oh, one success. So yeah, climbing down into the boat, very, very shaky, and just as soon as I'm close to the water's edge as well, just like kind of splash some water up onto my face and just. And turning to Edmond, says, "No victory without compromise, I suppose."
All right, but I wouldn't have splashed all that river water around. Not exactly sterile.
See, right now, it's possibly the only thing keeping me conscious.
Whatever. Yeah. No matter. We're not staying here. Get comfortable as well as you can. Find a seat. We're moving to somewhere downriver.
If there's something to sit on, I'll sit on it. If not, I'll just sit down on the decking.
Well, obviously this isn't a luxury liner by any stretch. You're able to find at least some place to sit. And Edmond, are you heading back to where you had dropped off Awat, or are you going to a different drop-off location?
Realistically, I don't know if they're going to follow me. So
You did take
I
the
don't
only
think I
boat.
would. Yes. But he's just on the other side of the river. Presumably there's still city there, right?
This is closer to the outskirts of Washington, D.C.
But like my line of thought here is he's on the other side. They don't know he was even here to begin with. There's gonna be a bridge somewhere that he can get to if he just keeps following downriver.
There's two bridges. Downriver would be the South Capitol Street, and then upriver would essentially be the 11th Street.
It might be pull the map of DC.
You had basically dropped Awat off at Poplar Point.
Oh, Google Maps is still loading.
In the meantime, Awat.
Reception's not good on this river. Hold on.
Awat, what are you doing as soon as Edmond drops you off?
He's shuffling his way back to the museum where our base of operations is.
So you're doubling back, essentially. You would have to double back.
Yeah, he wants to get the relic as to a safe place as he can, and no safer place than next to the mummies, the arisen.
All right, so I'm assuming obviously you're going to make a wide berth. Are you heading east or west? I guess is the best question here, because that would determine the path that you're going to take.
Well, let's just go ahead and roll that because I don't know. 1 for east, 2 for west. East it is.
East, so you're heading towards the 11th Street. It'll take you around the U.S. Navy Museum, and then you can just follow the Highway 695 up.
Yeah, he'll go that way.
Are you going to send any messages to the group, or are you just making your way there?
His phone has not been charged yet, so he still has no way of communicating.
Excellent.
You didn't plug your phone in when we went back to the museum.
We didn't.
We did. We went back
Yeah,
to
did.
check the security cameras.
Oh, did we?
You could have plugged your phone.
I might have, but it's a 50-year-old phone. Does it still charge to have the same plug?
Well, we will just assume that you did not charge it because that was what you first said.
Yeah. It's his very first phone, too. He doesn't know what he's doing.
It is going to take you a while to make your way over to the Smithsonian. So, check back with Edmond here, see if he's had time to look at his map.
I've been looking at it, but I don't actually. Could you give me like a street, like an address? Where's the where?
Okay, so if you look at, you could probably find the United States Capitol building.
Yeah.
Slightly southeast, you'll see the yards and the yard park.
Yeah. Okay. Yards Park.
That's where you just picked up.
Okay.
Seth.
So then.
And you dropped Awat off at Poplar Point, right across. And he's going up to the 11th Street and heading that way. I know your character wouldn't know that, but...
I don't even see this. Okay. Where's the Smithsonian? Hold on.
Smithsonian is northwest. Once again, if you're using the Capitol.
Okay. All right. I see.
Yep.
So, I think the best option here, then, if all went east, I would say we're gonna go west and then go north up the river and see if we can't find somewhere to park west of the Smithsonian, like over by all the memorials, like the Lincoln Memorial and whatnot.
Okay, so
I know that's not exactly no docks there, but
so you're going to head. There is a tidal basin paddle boat area where you could probably dock. It's not gonna.
we're going upriver. We're seeing if we can't find somewhere to park that doesn't leave it immediately obvious where we were going.
There is also the wharf, DC. That's a little bit further south before you get to the tidal basin.
I leave it up to Storyteller fee out here. We're going north upriver. We're parking somewhere there, and we're walking back. I mean,
All right, you're still gonna beat Awat, who is hoofing it by foot.
most likely.
So, assisting Seth to the museum does make it considerably longer. You do beat Awat there, but not by more than 10 minutes.
Right, we're gonna have to make it standard issue to start carrying a crutch with you, I think.
Well, I have a couple of things that only mild bits of research, only preemptive readings, really, but there might be something in there. But in the meantime, yes, I think something of that nature might be greatly appreciated.
Awat?
Well,
Oh, am I there?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first thing Awat does is store the relic. Gonna
Just ignores Seth,
priorities, man.
ignores the two cripples, and just pushes past you guys straight into the tomb.
Out of my way. I need to put this somewhere safe.
I'm gonna follow him because I do have a question.
Is there a safe here somewhere?
You're thinking of putting it in a safe when we've already seen on camera that our foe can walk through walls.
Well,
Leaving it here is no safer than leaving it in a broom closet on the second floor.
well then, maybe it would be better to leave it where there's a crowd. Always eyes on it.
Well, if you haven't taken notice yet, not a lot of eyes left in the city. Not many crowds around these days.
Well, what would you suggest? Because this needs to be kept safe so that, one, they don't get it, and two, we can use it to finish our rituals.
Well, we could keep it on our person, although perhaps that might not be the safest, considering the fact that, well, we just went there, and if we had a relic on us, we could have lost it.
To be fair, I do want to ask this. You following him, does that mean that you brought Seth with? Because Seth needs help moving around just as much as you do nowadays.
I'm probably still in the lobby, just like
Seth is just out in pain,
okay. Lying across like a row of seats in the lobby.
So I don't know. I don't think
Okay.
I would have dragged Seth in.
Fair enough.
What shape is this object in? What is it?
I'm surprised this hasn't been asked.
I
moment.
haven't really seen it yet. Like, Seth ran out, shucked it at Awa, and I was standing there, smoking, so I didn't get run over.
It appears to be. You would actually go ahead and roll me knowledge occult. So that's
No.
going well, intelligence occult, but
Yes. Cult specialty or no?
what's your specialty?
Ceramic religion?
Yes, 100%. If I could give you 2 dice for that, I would.
I mean,
That's
take-
how
Sure.
on spot it is.
I mean, you as the storyteller can apply conditional modifiers. You can give him a
Yeah.
+1 if you would like.
You
Because
tell
you
me stuff that I already know.
I'm gonna
Okay,
take that as go ahead and take an extra one, so it'll be +2. Thanks. Oh, look, 2 successes.
With that, this particular thing is an effigy. It essentially is a replica of one of the judges of Duat. It's one of the minor judges, so his name is kind of escaping you at this time. Memory not being quite what it was.
Yeah. Old fart. Hasn't been the same as memory in 5,000 years.
As for what it does, you have no idea.
Right, but what I'm saying here is leaving it in this tomb is simply not, you can't consider it safe. Because to my knowledge, intruders tend to wake up the mummies, right? I think I read that in the pamphlet somewhere. Obviously, it didn't happen. So even if we were to sit it right on that sarcophagus over there, if that woman comes by to pick it up again, I don't think anything would happen. All we would do is lose it. Honestly, the broom closet on the 2nd floor might be safer just because of how... why would you look there?
And she has been here once before. We found
The other
that out.
option I might propose are associates in 0 Hour. We know they're a large organization. We know they are armed and trained. It might be safer to hold in their hands until we're ready to do this again. Of course, now I'm asking you to hand over precious relics to an organization that's not directly tied with them. But I'm rambling again.
Well, that is a risk, handing it to folks who don't know what it is or how to use it, and whom I have no idea who they are. However, you folks have been here, well, here specifically, longer than I have. If you think this group can be trusted, I could be willing to leave it with them until we need it.
On that note,
And he'll
real
hand
quick,
it over. Yeah, go ahead.
on that note, I want to get 2 more rolls from Marshall. I want to see how his surgery is doing.
Okie dokie. Let's see.
Ooh,
Very nice.
very nice. 1 more roll.
Man, these rolls aren't bad.
However, you have 1 more roll. This roll determines if the man lives or dies.
You gotta put that on him.
I do. Go ahead and give me this last roll, since I just noticed this is your 6th roll here.
Can I use willpower again? Is it just once per extended action, or?
I don't It's still
don't think
technically
so.
the same, so I don't think you can use it now.
Okay. All right.
Doesn't matter. Because you saved this man's life. Target successes was 15. After that second roll, you were after that last roll, you were sitting at 14.
Oh my
Ooh.
god.
That's why I was like.
Down to the
However,
wire.
he's not going to wake up for a while. Extensive blood loss, 6-hour surgery. He's not going to be up and around or up and moving for a while. However, you are exhausted. Would there have been any text messages in the new group chat during any of the situation at the warehouse? Or after you've gotten back?
No, after we got back, there might have been. I could see us, sending a message out like, "Hey, we did a thing. We have something to discuss back at base." But during the whole thing, probably not, because we were all there.
Okay.
And it was all happening.
Yeah.
True.
It's, sorry, question to Storyteller. How long has this taken in comparison to the surgery?
Yes. Time is not working linearly at this moment. I'll just phrase it like that.
Yay, mummy.
Yeah,
Themes.
the whole relic thing. While it seems to have passed in a blink of an eye, the amount of walking that was involved and everything, this did take several hours to do. Especially the walk there. Or no, you drove there. You drove with Seth's Ford Pinto, so to speak. It was mostly the walk back that took a decent amount of time. It was about a 20-minute drive, I do believe, with traffic, supposedly.
Traffic.
Yeah, that doesn't exist. So, this is going to happen later on in the evening. Definitely after you guys had arrived back. Obviously, I'm playing a little loose with time here. Reasons. So, by the time he's out of surgery, he would have received the message stating that you were back and that there's stuff to discuss. Knowing that, are you going to head back to the Smithsonian? Marshall?
Oh, me?
Yes.
Yeah. I'll just tell one of the surgeons, like, keep an eye on him, and then to, like, inform me when he wakes up, and I'll head to the Smithsonian.
Doesn't take you too long. As you reach the lobby of the Smithsonian, Seth would probably still be passed out there. You can see a crude attempt, probably, at a tourniquet around his leg.
Oily rag from the boat.
We don't tourniquet for several hours. It's a bad idea. He's
I've got
lost
nothing
that
in medicine.
He had a tourniquet on.
I've got 0 in medicine. I don't know that.
However,
Wow.
Marshall would know that.
So, leg is blue.
Yeah. What exactly happened here? Just like pointing to the guy laid on the floor, I guess.
To Seth.
Yeah, Seth.
Oh, has my bashing damage healed at least?
Yes. That heals in 15 minutes.
Good to go.
Does that negate your wound penalties at least?
It does, yeah. two gunshot wounds. But small victories.
Okay. Okay. Well, it seems like that tourniquet kind of outlived its usefulness at the moment.
I will ask you to at least have a look, if you'd be so kind.
Or just, yeah, lay down over there, and I'll just help you out. And then I'll,
He's lying like on some of the lobby seats. So
do I just roll intelligence medicine again, or?
Yeah, this is intelligence medicine. Gonna be the main roll that you always make, especially at 5 medicine.
Yeah.
4 successes. Come on, why don't you get just
Wow.
one more and get that exceptional?
Hey, speaking of, I think I still have like an inspired thing too.
oh,
Burn it.
So,
Let's see, what does it do again?
you declare it before you roll, but then you get an exceptional on 3 rather than 5.
or if you fail a roll regarding it, you can burn it and turn that into a success.
I might keep it for that then. Alright.
However, looking at the wound, it does look like the bullet went clean through, so small graces and all that. These wounds, though, they're old. There's already some coagulation. However, you can tell there has been no actual treatment of these wounds. They've been just healing on their own somewhat. Obviously, they might become infected.
How old are these wounds again?
Roughly a
Few
few
hours.
hours.
I see. You should be fine, but we just need to make sure to keep your wounds clean.
I thought that might be worthwhile endeavor. I've already mentioned it to Edmond, but I have a hunch I might have something, but it involves going back to my study.
I mean, we could stop back at my clinic again if you want. We have like proper medical equipment, considering it's all we do there. But
This is a bit more of an arcane nature. It's to be believed.
I guess I can't really help you there.
It isn't too long until you see Awat and Edmond making their way down from the 2nd floor. The broom closet idea, it seems to have won out.
As long as they'd never think to look there.
Oh, come on. You think people would actually want to go up the stairs? You know, we could just put a wet floor sign down. They'd never think to go. Too dangerous.
By the way, my device, I don't know how, holds up his phone. I can't get it to turn on like it used to.
Yeah, that's probably because that battery died back in the 70s.
Do I need a new one of these batteries then?
I am not exactly qualified to be repairing a phone.
So
How old is his phone? Is it actually a 70s?
It's 50 years. So
Literally the 70s, yeah.
No.
No, the 80s, sorry.
80s.
We're in the 30s. I keep
It's a car.
forgetting.
It's a car phone. It's. I've only seen those in a few movies that date back a while. I think you actually have to charge it on from a car battery.
it's nice
I
to
don't
see you
know.
guys again after you guys ditched me in the clinic. Oh, and our cult friend's doing fine. Thanks for asking,
no, wait, it wouldn't be the 70s because it's 2030s right now.
Yeah.
We already discussed that.
Yes, I was wrong.
I was a bit slow on the uptake.
Awat's brain is showing signs of age at this moment.
Well, we can try to plug it in somewhere, see what happens. I don't think it'll work, though. And, well,
Plug it.
unfortunately, I'm not sure there's I don't think the local Verizon store has anyone working there on shift anymore.
You can borrow pager. You might have some of those.
Pager? What is a pager?
I mean, it might honestly be more secure. Not connected to the the actual internet, an intranet system.
Oh, somebody go get me one of those then.
Oh, your legs don't work yourself.
I just walked for an hour and a half to get here. 2 hours maybe.
So, at this point, Seth, your phone vibrates.
Okay.
As you open it or look at it, I don't think you're using a flip phone.
No.
As you look at your phone, it is an unknown number, but from a text message.
I'll check. Yeah, I'll check the message.
It just says, I have something of yours, and you have something of mine. We can make a trade.
I'll put that on the back burner for the time being.
Right. So, back to important matters at hand. That singular relic, probably not enough, is it?
Unlikely.
Seth, you would be the one most versed in this one. Realistically, you probably need 3.
And that's a intelligence occult, right? With the
You don't even need a roll. I'm telling you it's 3.
so it's 4.
3, you would need 3 relics.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you meant 3 successes.
No.
It's judging by what we're working with and what we need to achieve, so on and so forth, we'll probably be looking at least 2 more. However, I'd be reticent to attempt something quite so foolhardy again.
Well, there was that other avenue we were going on before we were distracted.
That there was.
International travel, which unfortunately, well, I believe that was down to you, Doctor. with you obviously being caught up with your obligations, that for the immediate here and now, that was removed from us.
One moment, guys. Sorry.
Mhm.
Yeah, haven't had the opportunity, contact some of my friends, but I can do that later. I just think we should see what we can learn from. What was the name of the guy with all the like engravings, I guess, on his skin? Like the ones that we went to like surgery to like save.
Random cult member number 2.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
You didn't really know him by name.
we should probably stop by the clinic to see, or like once he wakes up, see what we can find out before we leave, because I'm not sure how long we'll be gone for.
Didn't
Also-
you just finish with him?
I haven't had the opportunity to like interrogate him yet. He is unfortunately quite passed out from the operation.
Yeah,
Yeah, a
modern
little bit.
anesthetics tend to last a little longer than the booze we used back in the day.
So, with that, I would say Marshall would know. It's going to be maybe days before this guy wakes up. That level of surgery on somebody is usually fairly taxing. So, he would probably, for lack of a better term, almost be in a coma for a little while.
Does that information get relayed?
Yes, it does.
No.
Well, with a few days, we can obviously be back from Philadelphia, and
Additionally, we do have the wonders of technology on our side. Should we fail to return when he wakes up, we simply have one of the staff members over there, your workers, put him on the phone.
absolutely.
Suppose that works.
As much information as we might get from him, it very well might just add up to the same he was walking down the street and got grabbed.
Certainly possible, but maybe a different avenue of inquiry that we can begin.
Alright, well, beginning is that particular avenue is, I don't think, all too important. We're probably not in the situation to go toe-to-toe fighting that individual or their group.
Absolutely not.
So, knowing how they're operating and how we might strike them, fairly useless. What I truly believe is the more important avenue here is getting these mummies awake before they wake theirs.
Certainly agreed.
It would absolutely tip the balance in our favor.
The fight would already be over, to my knowledge. What, 5 against 1?
Perhaps if we're going to Philadelphia as well, it might be worth taking our newfound acquisition with us as well. Safer out of the city than within.
Another good idea.
You just locked the broom closet. Alright, go get the
You hid
keys
it.
from the
hid
building
it in
across the park's bathroom.
You hid it in the broom closet.
Well, Well, where were you gonna hide it?
Probably in the broom closet, to be honest with you.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Very well. How are we getting to this fine eastern city here? Let's go sail up the river. Go for a bit of a boating expedition on a stolen boat. Surely they wouldn't track it. Why would they do that?
Certainly an option. I don't know how far a tank of fuel will get you with one of those things, but
Well, the alternative is taking a car, and again, one tank of fuel ain't gonna get us there and back. So it relies on finding fuel on the way. And let me tell you, gasoline, not very common anymore.
certainly a downside cheaper than it used to be. The 5-finger discount from my experience.
With connections to like Task
Yes.
Force Valkyrie, would we have, or would I have like access to someone with like a plane or something? Or
With the devastation that Task Force Valkyrie faced a couple of years back in world events, they're taxed beyond all reason. However, if we are asking about planes and the like, I mean, Ronald Reagan National Airport is just across the river.
Is it still active?
It most certainly is not active, but that means planes are just sitting there.
But the question always comes down to, is there fuel to get them in the air?
Actually, I'm going to.
I do not know how to fly a plane.
I can assure you, the matter is taken care of.
Seth, what are you rolling?
No, I was saying if I had anything in science, I don't, so I'm not going to say it.
Well, it can't hurt to take a look. It
No.
would certainly be a more direct avenue than driving or taking a boat there. We'd be here and back quicker.
I don't suppose you remember how to get to my office at George Washington, do you?
It wasn't that long ago. I'm sure I could manage.
I obviously go myself, but not really up to the job. Looking down at his legs, which are soaked in blood. In the bookshelf, there is there's a whole load of my journals. They're all fairly similar. However, there's one. It'll be fairly close to the left-hand side. And on the front, there's just some dates, but it'll be from 2027 to 2029. If by any chance you could pick that one up, it's brown leather bound, fairly simple, but I believe there's something in there that might be of use.
Of use how? I mean,
Oh, it's old, and it's going back, and it's an excavation. The tablets that I use in cuneiform, they were fairly worn, but potentially the opportunity to heal the way that those of which we serve do the same.
Okay, very useful indeed. Okay, I will go and fetch this for you, since you obviously cannot.
I can't express my gratitude enough, thank you.
What time of day is it?
Your outing started early morning-ish. It's late now. end of the second day, so to speak.
Very well. Yeah. I believe I will be retiring for the night. Unless this book requires multiple people to retrieve.
No, it's just
Very good.
I can't really recall when or where it was. I just remember. I remember the book it was in, and like I say, there might be a little bit of deciphering necessary, but I'll see what I can do.
And with that, Awat is going to take off, correct?
Yes.
I'll
Edmond?
probably head to bed too. Though I'm exhausted after the surgery.
Mm-hmm. Edmond?
I will be retiring to sleep for the night. First thing in the morning, I will trek over to this airport and see if there's any birds we can get in the air.
You have just finished listening to this week's episode of Mummy the Curse 2nd Edition Final Hours, part of the Domain Gaming's Contagion Anthology, written and told by Wyverian. A special thanks to you, the listener. And if you wish to continue supporting us, subscribe, like, and share. As always, comments are welcome. Until the next chapter, don't stop asking yourself, in the fading memories of this dying world, can we discover a way to survive?